Good evening. Welcome to the final episode of season 3 of Phil John's V.I.P. Thank you so much for joining me every Saturday night as you always do. I appreciate you. I thank you. Thank you for sticking with me for a year. Could you believe that? It's been a whole year since I've started this. And it has been a blessing to me. And I hope that it has been a blessing to you. I thank everyone who has been a part of this project, everyone who has called me and supported me and have kind of like been through the trenches with me. Thank you so much, because this year is just, it goes without words. I'm just really just full and just thankful to have this platform, to be able to use a platform in a way that could be helpful and impactful to other people. I remember I've had previous conversations with people who used to tell me, you need to get on the internet, you need to do something, you need to get on IG. That's where it's at. And I knew from the beginning that whatever I did, it would have to be intentional and it would have to be impactful. And I came up with this idea. I remember like around maybe close to midnight. And I reached out to a couple of my colleagues in the industry. And before I could put my head to pillow, all 3 people said yes, I would do it. And there, Phil John's VIP was born. And I always want to say thank you to everyone who have watched, tuned in, all of my guests who have just gave so much of themselves, and in turn have given so much to me. I wanted to provide a space where I'm able to celebrate my peers and uplift them, because it's a part of who I am so much, and to have this community. And because of COVID, we weren't allowed to do that. So I'm so glad that I was able to have this platform to bring that community back together. And if God sees fit, there will be more to come. Hopefully in the fall, there will be more to come, definitely. But as for tonight, this is my last live for season 3. And as always, I end each season giving thanks and honoring spirit. Because I believe that that's the thing that guides us. That's the thing that elevates us. That's the things that keeps us moving forward. That's the thing that gives us hope. That's the thing that we look into for guidance. And I always want to leave it in a place. And tonight I'm just so excited because I have a young woman coming on who I've known since I was a teenager. And I've seen her spiritual journey. I've seen her go from us being in church together to her really elevating in the spirit world. For those of us who are black and brown, whether you're from the South, the Caribbean, or Latin America, we know there are spiritual practices that have been passed down generation after generation. And some of us, we still practice some things and we don't even know where it comes from because it's so innate. But she is a Lucumi Priestess in Santeria. And I know that kind of may freak some people out, but I want to have her on because I trust her. And I know that she is an Aranaway girl, is going to keep it real, going to keep its grassroots. But most of all, she's going to come in love, because that's who she is. That's her innate ability, is her love, her heart, her passion for people. And she's just going to keep it funky because that's just how she do it. So without further ado, I want to introduce you all to Miss Ifa Abeyo. I hope I said it right. I'm going to bring her in right now. Yo, you in the room? Yeah. Click the button to join me. Where you at? There you go. There you go. Here you go. Here we go. Here we go. Last live. Let's do it. Here we go. And we are live. We are live. We are live.
You did that right. You did. Oh my goodness. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Hello. But
Yo.
Oh my God. Yes. Wow. I remember when I saw you at Starbucks. I was like, wait, hold on. I know.
Yes. But like I remember us back in church.
Yes, yes. You know, people really don't be believing that I was in church. I was like, what? And they were like, for real? Yes. You know, it's still, it's the same. It's similar. It's similar.
It is. It is. It is. It is. And I think when we sat in Starbucks, it was almost like for me, I got it because I knew where I was in my spiritual journey. So I fully understood that. And I think that the one of the things that I always try to tell people is that I didn't find God until I walked away from church altogether.
And it happens. In fact, let
Yeah.
me go in the room. Santo, and for all the elders, Benicion, which that's a form of us saying hello and giving blessings. So Benicion to the elders, Ibaru to the Luos, and Santo to anyone under 5. But I did. When I walked away, and I didn't turn my back on God. You know, I just turned my back on some people's perception of what a Christian was. And
Right.
majority of it where I had came from was, I'm better than you, or you won't make it to heaven if you don't do it our way. And listen, I have Christian friends. I love my Christian people. I give them so much love. And in the tree of spirituality, everyone is welcome. No one's separated. Everyone's welcome.
Yeah.
Christians, Muslims, Lucumi, Palo, everyone's welcome because it's all one tree, the roots. And, you know, but you just have some people that if you don't do it my way, you're just destined for hell. And I'm like, how? You can't do that, because Christ himself, if we know anything, he didn't turn anybody away.
Yeah.
You know, so how do we as people, I just learned a valuable lesson. Someone had did something wrong in the spiritual community. So a good friend of mine was like, so what if that person says sorry and you see them making changes? Do y'all still turn your back? And I was like, no, we can't. We're not supposed to. But because of our egos and our short-sightedness, we will crucify those people because we still live in those times where you've sinned. That's it. You're shunned from the village. You're no more.
Yeah.
But I'm, you know, like in Africa, what they do is everybody gets together and they pray, and like we'll do the Lord's Prayer, right? But in Lucumi, we have the Moyuba. It's a prayer in Yoruba. So we'll do that, and you pray for this person. And, you know, when they hold themselves accountable and you see them starting to make better choices, then the healing in the community takes place. And just learning that was an amazing feat for me, because I was taught the same way. You fuck up, that's it.
Right.
But we can't turn anyone away. Especially
So what I'm curious to know is, like, what was the point for you where you felt there had to be a shift in your spiritual practice from Christianity to something else?
I went into the church and I had wrote a book called Healing from Within. And I was locking my hair, right? I wasn't going to the beauty parlor no more. I was going to New Tribe up on Jamaica Avenue, and they was so, you know, that was a while ago, right? I went in there, and the first lady of the church was like, oh, I saw a car full of those people with the nappy hair. And I was like, okay. She was like, you girl, go to the beauty parlor. And when I wrote the book, I was, you know, trying to give it, you know, people in church. And everybody was like, oh, you can't write. And it was Minister Hines, Seal Hines. I was walking past the church because I had left. I was walking past the church and I'm hearing her. She had the speaker and she's reading. I said, wait, that's my book. Like, so I snuck into the church and I was sitting in the back. And she was talking about the forgiveness diet, how we learn to forgive, because I wrote that. And I'm sitting there like, wow. And so everybody in the church is like, oh my God, who wrote that? You know, I want to get a copy, all of that. And see, it was like, it's sad because the very person that wrote it is sitting right there and y'all shunned her. I would have left too. So it was the judgment, it was the disrespect, it was I can praise Jesus in the closet. I can look however I look, as long as I'm clean and I'm smelling good. Why do my appearance? Then when I started wrapping my hair, it was, girl, you just need to do your hair. Why are you putting that material up there? So it was all one-sided. So I just walked away. And I met this sister named Monique, and she stopped me in the middle of the Jamaica Farmers Market. And she told me, she said, there's a million ways to get to the Creator. We all find our own path. She said, and I pray that you. So that's where, and then I started reading and meeting people in first spirituality. Then I started meeting people that was in the religion, and I just fell in love. I fell in love. I felt like it was like all my life I was missing out. And then I got sick. And they had told me, you know, because I was diagnosed with cervical cancer. So they had told me, listen, you know, I was in Atlanta, Georgia, and this is just how they told me. There's nothing for us to do for you, you know, here, you got cervical cancer. And I was like sitting on the bus like, I can't die. And I was really angry with God. Like, this is how you do me, you bring me in this world. And I just, you show me these things and I'm gonna die. So I came up to New York. I started meeting people.
And you were in Atlanta at the time, right?
Yeah, I was in Atlanta.
Shout out to Insta Black Man. I wanted to shout to dude out one time. He's gonna soon. I'm coming to the gym, brother. I am. I've been meaning to get back to the gym. But go ahead. I'm sorry. Continue.
But yeah, I lived in Atlanta for 20 years. I lived in Atlanta for 20 years. Yeah, 20 years. I came up. I've been in New York for 8 years. 8 years now. Now I live upstate. I can't live in the city. I love y'all, but
you know, I moved over to Jersey.
For real?
Yeah.
Yeah, I can't live in the city. It's just too, like, now I live upstate. I live on Oneida. So it's now I'm in the mountains, you know.
Yeah.
So,
which is a good place to like that space is probably.
It is. It's real. It's a small town upstate. Like, we're past Albany. We're not in Canada. But it is. It's for now, it's just cooler, you know.
Right.
We get snow because we're in the mountains. So we had snow like 3 weeks ago. I was like, I know you lying. But yeah, so
here's you know what? Here's what I found very interesting, right? Because a lot of times when you hear the word Santeria, there are a lot of Christians and people that's like, oh, I don't want to mess with that. But what I found fascinating is that a lot of what's a part of the religion or some of even the practices are cultural.
It is. It's
thing. And I don't think that we realize, I don't think that we fully understand that is things that we do now that we practice like unaware that come up, that's a part of that. Because whether you're from the South, the Caribbean, Latin America, South America, there are certain practices that you still have, whether it's healing, herbs, roots, everything.
Reading of the Psalms in the Bible.
Absolutely.
You know.
So what do you say? What do you think the disconnect was? Why do you don't think we associate that with
because
the
we
practice of Santeria?
On that it was evil, it was wicked. You know, and then Hollywood took a form of it and it just became horrible. And then churches took the form of it as it's satanic, and you know, but we give honor to the ancestors. We give honor to our children, our family, where we become family, and it's not by blood, but we become family. I have god brothers and sisters. I have a godfather. I have a Luo, you know, a higher godfather, and they make sure they take care of us as we take care of them, you know. And it's like a community and a family, though. It's not more of a community. It's just a family. You know, we have our ups and downs. We have our ins and outs. We have our crazies. We got all of it.
Right.
You know, but we accept it. Like
which I found fascinating, because I would not think that the same kind of, I don't know why, but I don't think the same kind of trials and issues that will go on in like the spiritual world, like in Santeria, will go on.
We
That goes on like the NAACP or
we
you
got,
know.
racism. We got it all. You name it, we got it. But we deal with it in a different aspect. Sometimes the elders step in. Sometimes, they're called Santeras and Santeros, and we'll step in, or your own house will step in. So there's always ways of correcting the
Yeah.
behavior, and making sure, because we do practice Iwa, which is a word for good character. It's your character you're born with. It's your character you're gonna die with. So that is the goal of it. Reconstructing, building up your character, and making sure you take care of your family. Because Ifa teaches that you should prepare for the next 16 generations.
Wow.
Yeah, I know, right? Like, that's beautiful.
But you know what? That's cultural though.
Yes.
That's that you could go back as far as not even your parents, but your grandparents and great grandparents.
Yeah, we do.
Those were already set in place. That was the goal from the beginning.
Yeah, because we don't want them to eat ramen noodles all their lives. Like, we want to prepare. So we always ask, what are you doing to prepare for the next 16 generations? So that's why we teach them, we teach them how to pray. We teach them to respect the Santos. We teach them, on their journey of spirituality and cultivating it and making better choices. Yes, you're going to mess up. We're in this world. We're going to mess up. We're going to do all kinds of things. But it doesn't mean that you are a bad person. You just had to go through trials and tribulations like everybody else. But the cool part is, majority of the times what to do and what not to do. So this way to keep your behind out of trouble. Like my goddess said, I saw here, Jess, she's crowned. She's going to be crowned Yemaya. Her crown is Yemaya, which Yemaya is an Orisha and over the ocean, right? Not fully over the ocean, because there's other people that's in the ocean as well. But she's the mother, right? So that's going to be her crown. And she has to go through so many things to get to that step of being initiated. So you got to learn to build up your spiritual frame. You're learning how to connect with your ancestors, which we call. You learn how to deal with those.
You said Egun.
Egun is called ancestors. Egun. Egun. Yeah. So it's things in process that she has to do. And there's a ceremony that most people get that it's called when you receive your hand of Ifa, right? For women it's called Kofa, for men it's called Mano, right? So you'll get this ceremony for 3 days, and it tells you like what you should do, what you shouldn't do, things that you should take interest in, things you shouldn't take interest in, and the next step on where you should go, because not everybody needs to get initiated. Some people need to relax.
Well, you know what? I think I mentioned this to you before. Was that a lot of the language that you use? And I don't want to get in trouble. I don't want to get in trouble by saying this, but like part of, if you've ever been a member of what we call the Divine Nine, which is the Black Greek letter organizations.
Okay.
The process. Kind of, and we always say the same thing. Not everybody is meant to be initiated.
No,
there are certain things there are certain stages you go through. There are certain things you have to go through in order to become a member, and for it to be done properly.
That's it. Because they told my oldest daughter she don't need to get it. She just needs to receive this one ceremony and live her life.
Yeah.
Which is true, because she even said it. She was like, "Ma, I can't do all that. I wouldn't even do it. Like, you would be taking care of. I'm not doing that." So everyone doesn't need it. But people think because it's the cool crew, it's the cool crowd, that, oh, I'm going to go and do it. And then they wind up regretting it. You should never be on a journey where you have to regret anything. It feel natural. It should feel like, okay, now I'm completed. Now I'm on this journey. But if it has to be forced, or you just doing it, just trying to make a name for yourself, you'll see in the long run, because there's things that we have to do for the rest of our lives.
Yeah.
Be like, yo, I don't even feel like doing it, but we have to do it. There's no in between. So
truly,
you ain't gonna keep a plant alive. You ain't gonna take care of no goldfish. Then why? What? Sit down. Sit down. Sit down. Sit down. Everything is not for everybody. You know, now unless that reading comes through and it says, okay, this person needs to, or this person should, or this person can, then great. I'm not gonna have an argument with it. But if they say, listen, you don't have to do it, like, okay, great, because it's not. I remember one of my godfathers, right? He's told me, it be the head that wears that crown. And it's true. It is true. So yeah.
It's almost like, you know, when the Bible says too much is given, much is required.
And it's true. That is fact. That is fact. They kind of say that too.
But you know what's crazy to me is that I learned when I started practicing. Well, I really wasn't practicing, but I started reading a lot. So I started reading a lot of what they call New Age books. So Eckhart Tolle, Wayne Dyer, Deepak Chopra. And what I found was there's a common denominator through all of them, through everything. Like, we could say the same thing, but we use totally different language to say it.
Yeah.
Universal law will always be what it is.
It is. It is. My godmother used to always say, it's the same color, it's just the patterns are different, but it's the same color. You know, it's just all, but it's the same color. And I was like, oh, okay, I can get that, but it is. But people just...
Dr. Gene Wade said, you are speaking today.
I love him, Benicio. But it's so much fear because people don't want to take the time like this to have a conversation. You have a conversation, a lot of it will be like, oh, wow. I remember being in the nail salon. This woman, she was like, oh, she damned me to hell. I said, okay, man, don't worry about it. But these young sisters was like, oh, my goodness, thank you for, giving us a light, because all we knew was Lucumi Santeria is bad. And I'm like, nah, it's not. It's really not.
Yeah.
Like,
I remember sitting when you were in Starbucks one time, and there was a guy outside, and I think you were going through your confirmation, and you were
right.
And there was a guy that came by, and he saw it just in the window, and he knocked, and he just bowed.
Yeah.
To you, and I was like, I thought that was dope.
And I would be out, because and by the way, I was done with my 3 months. So I was like down on my last 2. So people would see me. Now, some people would see me and they'd be like, "Yo, people would be like, oh my goodness, and they'll bow and all of that. Some people would be like, child, you going to hell. This lady tried to do an exorcism to me in the elevator on something by the Long Island Railroad. She was like, the power of Christ compel you. I said, I know she is lying. She lied. I turned, but then she did that boy, and I turned around and I said, ma'am, I don't want to get this white dirty. Please.
Yo, tell her. You know Donna from Jamaica, Queens. Let's pause.
Oh my goodness. Because I was coming off the Long Island Railroad, right? Because riding the train, and I'm very grateful because when I was going through my initiation, you have to wear all white. Everything white from head to toe, right? White bag, everything. And you can't look at yourself in the mirror. You can't see yourself. So we learned that beauty is skin deep. It's on the inside, right? So when you're on the train, on the regular train, you're going to see the reflection. So you always got to look down. That's not cool on the E to J. You know what I'm saying? That's not cool. You sitting there looking down. Somebody touch you in the head, or they fighting or whatever. You know how to glass it.
Right.
I would take the Long Island Railroad, so this way I don't have to worry about it.
You could be easy.
So I come up, and this lady is in the elevator with me, and she's like, the power of Christ compel you. So I'm thinking she on the phone or whatever. And this one was like, turn around, and she's like, God is saying. And I'm like, you talking to me? For real? That little stop coming from upstairs to get down to something seemed like it was forever. That was the longest ride on that damn elevator.
Right. First of all, you in shock.
What? Because she's really sitting there. The power of Christ compel you. I'm like, she's not talking. And she just kept on. Then she got close. I was like, ma'am, please don't make me dirty this way. Please. be mad at me and I'm gonna bust you in your head. Oh my, because you know, and then you'll have some people that were Spanish and that was racist, that like, why you taking my religion? Ah, she's at our religion. I'm like, man, they came from Africa. They can't come from you. How you doing? Then I had black people, why you ain't going to T5 to the, you know, because you have a separation just like with churches, you know, you have Pastor the Baptist. Well, in Lucumi, you have traditional, right? You have a Shay and you have Criollo, which is the Cuban way. So I got it from all walks because here I am. At first, I'm in South Jamaica. So now I got the drug dealers and everybody else. Yo, what's the matter? What you doing? Why you all so you Muslim? No, I'm not Muslim. So now I explain it to them because I'm walking through South Jamaica.
Right.
So they're looking at me like, yo, somebody died? What you, an usher? So I had to stand there and explain to them. Then I had to explain it to the people in the store because you can't take nothing in your hand, right?
Right.
Yeah. So if you ever been on 109 with Poppy and them, or one day they want to you in your hair, and I'm like, no, Poppy, you gotta put it on the floor. No, take it. No, Poppy, I'm sorry. People with me and be like, yo, can you go in there? Because they're not going to get it. You know what I'm saying? Because I thought half was from Puerto Rico, but they weren't. It was from Guatemala. It was from
They weren't Caribbean Latinos.
Yeah.
At all.
Don't know, and if they do know, they're not going to say they know. So
yeah.
I'm like, okay. So it was. My godmother would sit there and be like, you did have the worst year. Like, it's no joke. Like, I did. Then people, my own people would be like, so how much you paid for that? Oh, my goodness. Go to Jesus. Why are you doing that? So I did. Because you can't be on pictures. You can't be seen anywhere. You have to before it gets dark. Like, there's a lot of restrictions. So it teaches you discipline.
Yeah.
It teaches you discipline. And it's like, friends will call you and they'll be like, yo, what you doing? I'm like, yo, whoa, I can't go out. Like, I have to stay in the house.
Yeah.
So you have to be in before the sun goes down. Now, the messed up part is when time go up and the summer and you in white. First of all, you're sticking out like a sore thumb. You in all white. So I'm looking like the Stay Puft Marshmallow Man. You are. And people see you automatically. And then when you're on the bus, because you can't touch people and people can't touch you.
Right.
So I riding the 83, the Far Rockaway bus. But I was grateful. I was grateful because people, they would stand in front of me. Like, was this lady from Brazil? And she told me to. She said, you may never see me again, but maybe this is the reason why I need to be in your life. So I would get on the 83, and you know, the 83 get packed right when it's turning the corner, or the Far Rockaway bus. Yeah. Oh my God, if you don't get on the first time over there by the F, you screwed up.
Yeah.
Lady, all the time, she would come and stand in front and be like, no, don't touch the owl. Like, she was from Brazil. Now, in Brazil, they have candomblé. So our initiations in Lucumi and Santeria is a year and 7 days. Theirs is 7 years. 7 years of being in white. You live with your godparents. Like, they have a whole new different vibe. But she was with me because try getting on the Far Rockaway bus and what?
But you know what? You know what I find like it's so beautiful about it all is that if you know your history, if you understood the Atlantic slave trade,
yes,
and you understood how all of this came with it, right? Mm-hmm. So Brazil, the Caribbean, the United States, everybody has it. It's cultural DNA. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. And I think we don't really see it, you know, because we're so colonialized.
Yeah, and we are. We really are. We really are. And we are looking at something that's so beautiful and so natural and so more of earth and just nature, and we will destroy it, dissect it, and make it look so bad, you know. And I'm not saying everybody that's in any religion or any ATR, any kind of spirituality. People the same way people come to church because they're broken and they for answers is the same way. But we confuse it because we think, okay, they initiated, they got to know better. No, we're still learning and still readjusting our lives as well. A year, 7 days of being in white and going through all these sacrifices. Now, when you come out, you now have to learn how to relive again, because anything you do 21 to 91 days becomes a habit and lifestyle. Even now, I've been crowned for 5 years. I still walk in the store. If I don't see nothing white, I walk out. Like,
Yeah.
I have to always remind myself. But I said I'm going to go back to wearing white, because not for like just more white, because it kind of calms me, but it keeps me, which is crazy. People won't notice me if I have on regular clothes. I can make an Avenue and nobody will notice me with regular clothes. But if I put on all white, they be like, yo, what I did? And see me. So I'll be like, wow, I can be anywhere on the planet. If I got on regular clothes, they be like, yo, you were there? I didn't see you in white. I was white. Like, are you serious? Oh, I'm so used to seeing you in white. Listen, it's been 5 years. But
what do you say to people when they come to you with kind of like just made up stories of what they think it might be? Like, do you do voodoo? Can you cast spells?
I hugged him.
You do that? Like, how do you respond to that?
I hugged him, or like my cousin. My cousin came from New Orleans, and he was like, "Cuz, I just always thought, like, do y'all eat?" And I'm like, "Hell yeah!" He was like, "Cuz I hear so many stories about initiated people. Do you eat? What do you do?" I live. I do just like you. But people do. People have it. Some people don't think that, you don't argue, you don't curse, you don't shit, like you don't do anything. I'm not a saint. I'm not the reach out. I'm down.
Right.
Oh,
Right.
but yeah, so even people like know me from around the way. Oh, do I call you Ifa Abeyo or do I call you Donna? I'm gonna answer to both. I can't make you. I'm not gonna change because we all grew up together. You know it's Donna, so I might be somewhere and they be like, nah, that's Donna. Oh, okay, listen. I'm still my mama's child at the end of the day.
Right.
South Jamaica, I did all kinds of shit out there, and I've grown. But let me be the example that, you can see where this person did all this stuff and they made a transition. They changed. They bettered their life. So there's hope. There's someone that you can see to say, okay, she came from here. But you be amazed. People that's in the religion, I'd be like, nah, I grew up in the church. What? Seriously? You lying? No, I really did. Like,
yeah.
No. Yes. Like, for real? Like, yeah. I'm not the fucking dog child, like, for real. But yeah.
I think it's a beautiful thing because it shows the evolution of the spirit. You know what I mean? And sometimes that's no longer enough.
Because you need it. You need to get through these times now. But when people come, they ask me like the craziest things. Do you eat? Do you sleep? Can you have a boyfriend? Do y'all do sex? The fuck? I'm not.
Right.
Because the things that they even learn on YouTube, on TV, or the number one. Well, I had a friend that was in that and they died. I was like, I ain't died. I'm still here. But
I mean, people do it about things that I think that they find that comes across to be very mystic to them. It's like they get out to be more than what it is.
I said, ma'am, I got 10 grandkids. I didn't tell nobody. She was like, no, but that's what I always told. Where, for real, it was this girl, she really, like, this is all she knew. That people that was spiritual, they kill your kids. And I'm like, no, ma, that's not, that's not it. But, or we'll take your husbands, or, we're going to do voodoo. Don't eat at nobody's house. Don't eat at a spiritual person's house. They're going to put the hoodoo on you, or the root works. The root work, they're going to put the roots on you. You know how old people go. They're going to put the roots on you. They're going to put the roots on you. You be like, roots. They is.
You know what? I'll say this. I don't want people watching this who are Christian to think I'm crazy. I'm not. But I remember I had a reading done. a few years back.
Mm-hmm.
And when I walked in, the woman had told me, she said she felt like I had the spirit of a Babalao.
Sweet,
I
sweet.
don't know what that, I'm not sure what that means.
A Babalao is the high priest in our community, right? But I can see that because of the way the things that you do. Like, they're called the fathers of secrets. We go to them, we sit on the mat. They are sons of a ruler. A ruler is the great diviner, right? So to make it simple, they're the ones we go to make sure all our shit is correct. Okay? They the ones we go to make sure all our, you know how you could go to the doctor? Well,
Right.
they the specialist. They the head surgeons in charge. So
Right.
you go to them when everybody else say, I don't know. They gonna go and say, oh no, this is what's wrong. This is to fix it. But they're slow to anger. You know what I'm saying? Now they will get angry, but they're slow to anger, and because they are just the good ones, they are like my godfather. I love him so much that they are really slow to anger, and they don't disrespect no religion. They don't disrespect no religion, because there's a saying that in Ifa, that Ifa speaks of every religion, but every religion doesn't speak of Ifa, and that's sad. But they're slow to anger, but they're quick to teach. They are quick to teach.
Wow.
Yeah, they will. They would teach. You know.
I'm hearing you, and I'm like, is it?
I can see that with you. I truly can. I can see that with you. You know, have you ever seen Birth of a Nation, the movie?
No, with Nate Parker?
Yes.
No, I haven't seen it yet.
If you see it, the beginning part, you'll see what I'm saying, because she takes him to the Babalao. She takes Nat Turner to the Babalao, and he tells him, like, we should be getting encouragement and inspiration from him, because he's the one that's going to change the world. Like, you know, so they give you the prescription that you need to get you where you need to be and where you're going.
Right.
I can see that. So that's beautiful. Bless her soul, like loose. When we see things, and that's what we say when someone says something and we know it or we see it, instead of saying you're right or, you know, blessings, we say loose. And so it's like blessings to your spirit, or blessings to her spirit for saying it. I can see that, because knowing you, I can see that.
Wow. I was like, I don't know what that means. I'm sure I asked you when I got on.
Honor. That's a high honor.
Well, thank you.
You become the father, loose. You become the father, you know, like the dad that takes care of everyone, you know. And they are so needed, but you know, that's why they have the petty bees, their wives or the women that take care of them, because in reality, who takes care of them, you know, because they take care of everyone. And they really put their lives out there and their neck out there to make sure that, you know, these people are okay. The village is okay. So, yeah, that's cool.
I can see that, because sometimes it can be, sometimes you have to pull away from people for your own self-care.
And they do that. They feed themselves so many times and make sure they are okay. Because when you could really like spread yourself thin, because you're taking care of everyone else. So hence why, like my godfather, his wife, and all of them, they make sure you're okay. Sit down, like rest, because you're always on go. So yeah, but it's cool.
I learned a lot by watching in our mother's gardens, in our mother's garden.
Yeah,
that documentary.
Yeah, it was really good. My son was like, my God sister, I'm about to lie all over you. That's beautiful. But my son was like, Ma, you got to see it. And Martha Vega's in there and a few others. And
wait, I just saw the comment.
Yeah,
that's for me. Thank you.
Yeah,
thank you.
Yeah. So, but she did. It was really informative, especially about the sister in New Orleans when she was speaking of her initiation and things like that. So it was really good. It really was. Martha Vega was in there and a few others. So yeah, it was well put together. I was happy to watch it. Yeah.
It's just another testament of, I think, who we are collectively as a people. When I say collectively, let me be clear. I'm talking about Afro-Americans, Afro-Latinos, Afro-Caribbeans, Afro-Brazilians. I'm talking about all of us who are products of the Atlantic slave trade, who came in and was colonized.
Yes.
That is part of the DNA of who we are.
It is. You know, when I went to Haiti, it was life-changing for me, because we're taught, you know, to not, if you become so spiritually grounded, they'll call you a fanatic. Like, oh God, especially, you know, Christians, when they go, girl, you need to pray. Let Jesus, and they go, oh, they're fanatic. Oh, but over in Haiti, they don't understand the word fanatic. Their thing is, this is who we are. This
Right.
our belief, our religion, this is our life. Like their children. We give our kids an option. You want to go to church? No. I'm right? No. You want to go to church? No, I'm staying back. Okay. The devil is busy and we go on. Oh, you have no choice.
Right. Right.
You have no choice. We go into this ceremony. If they're doing one for Julie Dantor, they're doing one for Julie Bayon, they're doing one for whatever luau that's there. You don't have a choice. These are generations. This is what gave us our freedom. So I got to hang out at a Mambo's house, and I was like, wow, you know, I don't see no altar. And she took me outside. She said, this is our altar. She was showing me trees, plants. I said, are you for real? She was like, yeah. She said, listen, when they say, oh, that's too much or you too spiritual, she said, because that's who I am. Yeah. And wow, I said, over there, they say you a fanatic, we do it like that. She said, let them. Who cares? She was like, because it brings you to where you are. Right. And I was like, wow. But when I was like, girl, where your altar is? She took me right outside, like, this is our altar. I said, I'm not mad, honey. She was like, where's God? So everybody was sitting there like, God is here, God is. She said, God is everywhere. And you and me, everywhere. I said, now I love you. But it is. Right. Even in the churches, you're gonna see voodoo even in the churches. Yeah. It is everywhere. There's no separation because they're proud. Like, yo, I said, this is why y'all don't stop. Y'all just so proud over there in America. Right. Because this is who we are. And I'm like, so I had to think, when you go to Chinatown, you go on all their nail places, everything, you see the Buddha. We can't put our stuff up because if we put up a saint or we put up anything, that's the magic child, that's the devil. But every other race can worship and believe and follow what their ancestors did, and they don't have a problem. And we won't say nothing. Right. You go in the nail place, they got Buddha, they got a whole little shrine set up. Right. Like store, and you see an ancestor, the girl, that's voodoo. but
you know, Christianity, and again, I'm not, just so that people don't take what I'm saying out of context. I'm not down to Christianity. When I'm speaking from the cultural aspect of it, and being a product of people who were colonized, saying that Christianity is okay because of the colonizer. You know, so that anything else that is African is considered
the same devil. It's you're going to hell. You're going there real quick. Don't say, well, yeah, I lost because you over there with the devil. That's why. No, I was there one time. My man left me. Girl, that's the devil. You over there.
Everything. Blame the devil for everything.
Child, my child is bad. He's sick. Satan. What? But you know, any other race. Yo, I lost my job. Did you go and talk to the ancestors? I'm serious. This is a Chinese chick I didn't care. She'll take you to the Buddhist temple. They'll go in there. It's a beautiful one in the city. They'll go in there, light candles, all of that, do the incense. I went to the Hindu temple. Family, like, they don't play that. But the only thing I said, this is where I'm colonized. This is where I just can't. They give you a plate full of food and everybody put their hands in it and eat. I can't do it. I can't, but the colonization in me, I can't do it, girl. Yeah. I'm sorry. I just got to skip me. She was like,
right.
For real, no lie. The dude is sitting there, one scratching his head, the other one digging his nose. And now you gonna get
Yo,
the
that's cultural as far as cleanliness, eating behind people. I don't care. There's not many women of color who I could talk into having a potluck
Yeah, no.
because they don't trust.
I see your kitchen. I'm gonna get you clean. You did great. That's me. What?
Yeah,
Girl,
I was like, oh boy.
is it? I'm not coming. I'm calling out of the title. I can't come. Girl, your kids are grown. I know you lied. The devil is a lie. No, for real. Seriously. And it's
So
just
listen, I gotta give you my 5 questions that I ask everybody to come on. Right. So feel free to answer them however you like. So let me ask you this question. First question is, what is it that you know? What is it that you know now about spirituality that you thought you knew before you got deeply into it? What have you discovered about it?
that everybody's not perfect. I thought religious people were perfect. I put them on that pedestal, and they're just like me. They put their pants leg on one leg at a time, just like me. So yeah, that I thought everyone was perfect.
Mm. What advice would you give your 19-year-old self?
To slow down. Take it easy. Do not rush. Slow down. Slow down. Because I did. I rushed into a lot of things, sight unseen. I walk by faith, and which is good. But when you're dealing with people, that's not a good thing. That's not a good thing. It's not. So to slow down. Don't rush.
What do you want your legacy to be?
That she proved to herself that she could do it. I'm not worrying about what anybody else is worrying or thinking or saying. This is a personal battle. So on my tombstone, I told my daughters and them to put between my younger self and my older self. I did it. I proved that I can do it. The battle was just against me and nobody else. Yeah.
Man, yes, yes. What brings you joy?
Knowing that my grandkids I can hear them laugh. Oh my God. You have no idea. They get on my nerve. And they all from me. They get on my nerve. Like, when they told me that I was gonna die, that was my only prayer. Like this is where Christianity played its part in my life, because you have a moment where you get to pray, right? Because they'll tell you, stop praying. And that was the prayer. I don't care about nothing else. Let me see them. Let me enjoy them. So to hear them laugh, oh my God, that's beyond joy. That's beyond joy. So yeah,
What are you grateful for?
everything in my life, the good, the bad, the indifference, the obstacles, every goddamn thing. I say it every morning when I pray. I'm grateful for all of it. Even those dark days when it was just me and God, I'm grateful for it. I really am. I really am.
What would you want people to know about what it is that has helped you along the journey? What would you want people to know?
That well, to never fold. Don't give up. Because I didn't give up. No matter what was faced in front of me. I was saying, if you want to see me fold, you better catch me at the laundromat. Because that's for real. Because don't quit. Like, no matter what, don't quit. I've been duped. I've been lied to. I was robbed. Like, all of that in this religion. Because you will go through that.
Right.
And I remember my godfather, God bless his dead, Iba, he said, why you didn't give up? Because all the stuff that you had to go through. I said, one, I remember the story you told me. And two, I didn't do it for people. I did it for me. So, and like I said, I had to learn people are not perfect. So I love the religion. I love the way it is. So I'm going to deal with the bad. But you know how you have those, my good days, my bad days, but I won't complain. We're going to have those, and that's the part that I'm grateful for. I believe everything you go through prepares you to where you're going to be at. So I'm grateful for those church sounds because I can go back and hear all of those, songs and remember those preachers and all of that and the words that came out and even the testimonies and when they was testifying and all of that part of the church, giving honor to God who is the head of it. So I remember all that and it gets me through. It gets me through to where I have a foundation built already. So yeah. So I am.
Now allow me to say to you, thank you.
Thank you.
For your constant support.
Thank you.
I feel your energy and your love all the time. Even at times when I don't feel it within myself. I want to say thank you for always being a constant support, and just your energy is so infectious and it's so impactful. And I want you to know how much I appreciate that.
I received that and I appreciate it. That's why I always share your stuff. I do, and I'll be like, yo, go make sure you catch up. Oh my God.
Yeah. And I think I've learned so much from even our talks because I did things that I can appreciate now about it, that I don't think I've ever been. I think coming from the church I come from, which I don't want to even mention because I want nobody to Google them.
Yeah.
I think for me, I knew that I wanted to look for something greater and better because I was so almost like shell shocked from my experience because I was born in it. So I told people I didn't find God until I left, but I found God in other aspects. So through what people will call circular material is where I found God, and it freed me to be. It allowed me to be free and not feel like I had to be something other than myself in order for God to be present in my life.
Because we do, but it's beautiful, and it's a beautiful lesson learned. So now you can share it with the rest of the world. Because we think that God is going to be over in the pulpit and in the bench, and God may be in the park.
Truly, yeah.
In the park, but I love Monifa when she said that. There's a trillion ways to get to the Creator. We all find our own way, and it's beautiful as long as we do it. I love you, Dr. Wayne, Dr. G. Wayne. I love you. It's like amazing to hear that, sir. I echo your words. Oh, he is. Yeah. I follow him on IG. Let me tell you. I do. I follow
Dr. Gene Wayne. I gotta follow you, Dr. Gene Wayne.
Yeah, I do. I follow him. I'm a stalker. I be seeing him in different rooms and stuff. I'll be like, oh, okay. Yeah.
But I truly thank you. I think that is good. I think that I think this conversation should always continue and begin to grow and flourish, and because I think it's something that is necessary. I think church now, as what we used to know it to be, is changing, and it's very different. I think people are starting to look outside of the box a lot more.
Shout out to, listen, Sister Marge Jackson, all of them, I love her. She would come to the Botanica. And I remember when people would ask her, like, that's the devil. She said, listen, I bring Christ with me wherever I go. She said, but I'm not going to turn my back on this sister. I love her. And I was like, I love you. So it is making a change where they're now understanding. It's not shun. Like my brother's a pastor. They, when they was doing the prayer, he was like, okay, we're going to hear this prayer. He's like, but my sister and them, they do a prayer too. And I did Moyuba. So it is a change, which I'm happy, because when you have this conversation, then you get to see we're not Satanists. We're not trying to steal your babies and your daddies and your cousins and them. We're not. We still ain't doing the potluck though.
No, it wasn't even like I even said. I'm gonna tell you, it was a dessert party. I had an idea to do a dessert party, and I was like, everybody bring, if you good with bacon, bring it, and we go, and most of the women were like, nah, I ain't doing
that. That ain't religion. I didn't see her kitchen. I need to.
But you know what? Let me tell you, I knew that you were going. You were going to be on last season. Like I knew I was going to have you on this season, last season.
Oh, thank you.
It was like I knew because I wanted to have your voice.
Thank you.
On here because I felt like it was necessary, and the fact that I feel like you are so grassroots and that you got to be crazy. You have to be from another planet if you can't understand Ifa Abeyo and not get fully what she's saying. You got to be from that because it don't get no simpler than that.
I appreciate you. I do. I appreciate you. I love you and I appreciate you. That's why, Eric, you're an amazing individual, and many blessings on all of your endeavors and anything that you're doing. Blessings to it, and I see you ready to go take a vacation, and you'll be back. So I'll be looking forward.
Yeah.
Enjoy it. Enjoy this.
It's a lot of work.
I don't even know if we still got COVID or not, but listen, go enjoy yourself. Go enjoy you. Do you. Listen, I got 3 more years in this little spiritual circle. Then after that, a sister retired. I ain't the only one I got kids. I wish I would.
Yeah, but are you planning on keeping your business afloat? And also, anybody want to buy products, where could they go?
Well, I send them to other things. Like now I just teach and I do readings because I already did that. You know, I model myself after Queen Latifah. I'm always evolving. So now I'm into writing. I'm currently writing a book and just teaching. Like I'll be in Detroit. I go different places to teach about spirituality. And I do readings. That's it. I don't even make no more product or none of that no more. So I always send them to different people, you know, like there's a lot of people, you know, that make things and I love them and I always share their stuff. But for me, I do readings and I come, you pay for me to come, I come and I teach spirituality.
Yes.
But I'm not doing, I did all that. That's what I said.
I look forward to the book. Keep us posted. Keep me posted about the book.
Yeah, Echoes from the Mountain. So it will be up there. It will be up there. So yeah, I can't wait. Thank you. Okay, so I made some slutty lasagna. So I'm ready to go and finish. Y'all follow
Enjoy.
Slutty lasagna. Make it with salmon. So yes. Yeah, I know. So I love y'all. Thank you for having me. Thank you so much. Thank you for everyone that was in the group. I love all of y'all. And it's been a pleasure. Thank you so much. I see.
Listen, what can I say? Ifa Abeyo, thank you so much. Thank you all once again for joining me this last night of Phil John's VIP. And I'm going to do a wrap up, probably coming soon, probably this week. And I wish you many blessings. God bless everyone.